Hi, I'm Michael, and this video is going to be based around the coronavirus because it's making headlines around the world. So we're going to be talking about how STEM AI has the ability or the possible ability to stop the coronavirus pandemic. So now, right now is a coronavirus spread map, courtesy of this website, and it actually is spreading quite global. So we're going to identify the problem first. And the first thing you need to know about the coronavirus is that it's actually not a human virus, but instead came from bats, because scientists have researched the origin to be bats. But when we contracted the disease, it was from a seafood market. And we're going to talk about 3 levels of the problem. The first one is going to be the public health problem. The second one is going to be the personal health problem. And the third one is going to be the human health problem. I'll explain each one as we go along. So, first of all, the public health problem. So, the ideas and potential solutions for it is to isolate the infected victims and cut off the virus from spreading. Now, the actions, or STEM AI, we can use is screening them with a thermal camera, diagnosing them with the virus if they have it, and then quarantine them and care for them in a hospital. Right now, so we can use STEM AI to prevent the spread. In Wuhan, this is a typical hospital where the doctors and nurses are wearing hazmat suits while caring and treating the victim. But so far, one doctor has already died from contracting the virus from one of the patients. But in USA, instead of using doctors and nurses, they actually use robots so that the virus can't spread to a robot because the robot can't contract it. Now we're going to move on to the personal health problem. So the ideas were to stay away or stay at home and don't eat unsafe animal contents. You can wash your hands and cover your mouth when coughing and sneezing to prevent spreading around the home, and also to eat healthier and drink lots of water. So now we're going to talk about white blood cells, also known as leukocytes. I'm not going to bother pronouncing the other ones because I don't really know how. So I'm going to call them P types and L types because there are 2 types of white blood cells. So now the P type chew up the invaders, while the L type remembers what the invaders are, and so it can store that information when they come back, if they come back. Now P types, so there are actually 2 types of L types, or 2 kinds of L types, I would say. So there are B cells and T cells. The B cells are the intelligence, basically identifying the harmful bacteria or virus, and the T cells are actually the soldiers that will take down the harmful virus or bacteria. So right now is in a blood vessel. There are red blood cells around, but this is the white blood cell, and you can see there's another one there. Now, the reason I talked about that is also to talk about how do vaccines work. Now, vaccines works by training the immune system to recognize the deadly virus or bacteria. Vaccines contain dead or weakened versions of the bacteria or virus so that it's not harmful when they inject it. They teach the immune system, and it will allow the immune system to safely learn that those viruses and bacteria are hostile. So then when the immune system produces antibodies and remembers them for the future. In that way, when you get attacked by the virus or bacteria, the immune system would automatically kill it before it is able to penetrate a healthy cell and multiply. Now, the reason I talked about that is about trying to stop it. But first, we're going to talk about how it crossed the animal to human barrier, because most humans can't contract animal viruses and most animals can't contract human viruses. with some exceptions. Now, what do we mean by human health problem is stopping the virus from jumping. Now, first we need to identify the virus and its elements and how it mutates. For example, here is what it can't change, but here is what it can change in order to jump species. When we have identified the gene information, we can use something called xenobots. Now, I read this a few weeks ago in a news article, and they're quite new technology. So, yeah. But the difference between xenobots and normal robots is they're actually living and healable. They can repair themselves, and they're also programmable. So, this is this is what they said in a research website. If we could make a 3D biological form on demand, then we can repair birth defects, reprogram tumors and into normal tissue, regenerate after traumatic injury or degenerative disease, and then defeat aging because of this new xenobot. So now, how I propose that they can stop the virus is, well, first of all, they're built from the frog stem cells and also named after them, Xenopus. They can self-heal and sustain themselves a week without nourishment, and the most important thing is they are programmable. The reason I've talked about this is because we can program a fake version of the virus into the xenobots and create a vaccine for it. And I got this image courtesy of this website. Now, the reason we're using xenobots instead of the regular vaccine is because to get the regular vaccine, you have to grow and mass produce the virus, which will take roughly 1 year. But the xenobots are easier to create, so we can create the virus in much shorter periods of time to have a much smaller death toll. In that way, we can finally stop the coronavirus and stopping it from spreading from animals to humans. Thank you for listening all the way through this presentation, and hopefully you can spread this message. And I can also, if you want to help me spread the message, please consider subscribing, sharing this video, and also liking it. If you have any questions, you can always leave them in the comment section. And as always, I'll see you guys in another video.